Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have this from Fox News. Justin, top senators changes tune on potential filibuster. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
The sole reason for the entire federal government being shut down now, the sole reason for all the American people suffering all this pain and hardship is because of the fear of political retribution from the far left activists who run the Democrat Party. That is the motivation for the shutdown.
So with that, we bring in Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, whose committees include Armed Services, Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, Health, Education, Labor, Pensions, all of those, of course, impacted by this shutdown. He's also running for governor in his home state. Senator, thank you very much for being here. Chad Berger is reporting that there is a new bill that is potentially in the works, that there could be work going into the weekend. What is the shape of what's being discussed right now? And does this signal that maybe a change is coming, maybe some resolution is coming?
Well, in the last week or so, Martha, the Democrats have snuck around behind the scenes and worked with our leadership team, knowing that they want to get out of this themselves. Not all of them, but a few of them, and hopefully it would be enough to open up. But I think they really feel emboldened that they won a couple of blue state elections this past Tuesday.
Yeah, like you hear everywhere that they're like, oh, it's a blue wave. You know, the Democrats swept, and it's like, bro, it's not a flex because those were all blue areas. So duh, they're gonna win. Like, oh my God, that's just so dumb to keep hearing them say that. Like I said, if they flipped a red state, I would have been like shook. And I would have given them their praises, be like, good on y'all hustled, you know. But to flex over winning a blue state and you're a Democrat, yeah, that's not a flex. But hey, man, I hope they nuke the filibuster. Like, F it, right? Trump should just go all out, take off those kid gloves, and you know the deal.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
That's what he needs to do.
And I don't know whether the deal is still on the table. You know, it's about 3 appropriation bills that we'd put in the CR, put a date in there, get it done, voted in, and possibly kick the can down the road to January. Here's the problem, Marcia. These people feel empowered on the Democratic side. They can't control President Trump, but they think they can control the United States Senate. And that's the reason, as President Trump had us in the White House yesterday for breakfast, he said, if you don't bust a filibuster, we won't get anything else done. There's going to be more closures. So we got to make a decision on our side. I'm all for going to 51. Now, I was totally against it until I saw really how this place works. And I've been up here 5 years, and there's not going to be anything done if we don't do something about this filibuster, pass it up, and let's go and just kick the Democrats to the side and get something done for the American people. They are suffering.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I know that you were actively working to preserve the filibuster.
Right.
But now, as you just outlined for us, you've changed your mind on that. But it seems like roughly the same number of Republican senators are preserving the filibuster, including the Majority Leader John Thune, as you have Democrats on the other side who are not willing to vote for this CR. So is this going to become a battle over the filibuster and the CR in equal numbers, or do you think that you can actually persuade others to get rid of the filibuster, which the president clearly wants?
Yeah, I think it's not going to be the president changing Republicans' mind. It's going to be the American people. They're the ones suffering. My staff up here, they can't pay their child care bills. They can't pay their...
I say that people need to call their representatives and force them to nuke the filibuster. Because if Democrats get their seats back, you know, where they'll outnumber us in the Senate or in Congress, Trump's never going to get anything done. And it's going to be like the way it was last time around. So we need to get his agenda through as quickly as possible. If we have to have him hit the insurrection button, we need to get that done. Like, this just needs to get done. And like I said, what they can do, like, this would be my idea. Like, nuke it and then push everything you want through, like, everything. And then reestablish it. And then it'd be like, okay, we're done. But that's just my thought.
Mortgages, it's very expensive living in Washington, D.C., as you well know. So we are putting American people in a situation where they can't afford to go through. Now, again, as I said, This is what, 35, 36 days? There's going to be another one coming, and it's going to shut down again. We got to make up our mind as Republicans. We're going to take advantage of President Trump and the House and run this country the way we should, or are we going to let these crazy Democrats take over and decide what's going to happen in this country? Because they would run the country in the ground if you'd let them, but we're not going to let them. Hopefully we come to our senses.
So two things come to mind. Do you think that John Thune, Leader Thune, Senator, is persuadable on the filibuster?
Oh, I think, that's up to him. I'm just speaking for myself. There's 53 of us. I think if President Trump really gets involved more and more like we did the other morning at breakfast, there's 4 or 5 that probably would just be holding out to the end. But again, the American people are going to make this decision. If they start protesting and going out and say, listen, we know the Democrats are not going to do this, but the American people need to understand we voted for President Trump. And so if the Senate and the House don't vote this in, we're going to run you out of office.
Yeah.
And so, and we're in a tough situation here, but we've got to make some tough decisions for the American people. We don't run this place for the Senate, we run it for the American people.
So it's just very interesting because you see the rock and a hard place crowd on both sides, right, who are not willing to give in. So if it turns out that Republicans end up approving on doing away with the filibuster, explain to our viewers what happens down the road when Democrats have a majority, or it goes back and forth and Democrats are back in power at some point. So then Republicans will have no control over this kind of issue on a continuing resolution either.
Yeah, well, that's a tough situation, but we've got the House and the Senate and the White House for 3 years. We can put this country back together. They almost run us underground with President Biden, and we actually had a little bit of power at one time. But I'm going to tell you, they will change it. If we don't change it, they will. I saw the writing on the wall back when they voted it down. Joe Manchin and Sinema stepped up and did the right thing at that time. So we need to get something done for the American people.
Very interesting. And you're right. The American people are getting more and more frustrated. They want to head where they're heading for Thanksgiving, and they want to do it safely. Senator Tuberville, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, sir.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Yeah, I think a lot of these people need to understand like the importance of, nuking the filibuster. I think it's time, because if we don't do it, the Democrats will, and it's going to be like crazy hellscape if they do, because imagine all the woke crap that they're going to be pushing through. So it's best for us to do it now and then figure it out later. But let me know your thoughts in the comment below. Do you think we should nuke the filibuster, or do you think that we should just keep on trucking? But I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Till next time, guys.